Hey guys, Mr. Reppert here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Texas, explain how it goes from being a colony of Mexico to its own independent country to the 28th state of America. So, to understand Texas, we have to understand that at the time, America has this concept of manifest destiny. It's our obvious fate to spread from coast to coast. Now, Mexico is aware of that and is kind of weary. They're not too excited about America's advance towards their borders. So if we look at a map of what Mexico claimed at the time, you see that Mexico's land had California, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, parts of Texas, and they want to keep that land. It's very valuable to them, and they don't really want America getting closer because of this idea of manifest destiny. So they decide that they're going to have like a buffer zone. So they want to keep a little buffer between them and America, and they think that Texas would be perfect. So they start a colony there, and we can see right here that it would form a nice border between where America is currently and where it wants to go, and Mexico's border. So they start offering land to settlers to come there super cheap, but in order to get the land, you had to obey Mexican laws, become Catholic, become a Mexican citizen, learn Spanish, and most of the settlers at the time weren't too into it because they don't want to become Mexican citizens. They don't want to learn Spanish. They don't want to follow these laws. They just want to basically farm the land. They're bringing slaves in and they're growing cotton, which is making a lot of people pretty wealthy. Things get worse when General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna becomes the dictator of Mexico, and there he is. What he does is he takes away the Constitution, declares the Texans to be in a state of rebellion, and instead of waiting for them to kind of cool down, he says, you know what, we're going to go on the offensive, and we're going to put down this Texan rebellion. So the Texans start a revolution. They begin to fight Mexican troops. They're doing pretty good. Then Santa Anna begins to lead troops of his own to end this revolt. Things come to a head at a former mission, like a church, called the Alamo, where the Mexicans defeated the Texans and then executed all of the survivors. The Texans were outnumbered. They pretty much knew that they couldn't win, but they kept fighting. And then this happens again at the Goladada massacre, where troops left a fort and the Mexicans found them and executed them after they had already surrendered. So that it's going to become a rallying cry to remember the Alamo, and the Mexican army is defeated in one swift battle, the Battle of San Jacinto, and Santa Anna is actually captured, and in order to secure his release, he makes Texas a free and independent country. So they become the Lone Star State. You can see their flag there has one star, hence their nickname, and the map there shows you what becomes the independent republic or the nation of Texas. Texas begins to think, you know what, maybe we should be annexed or joined to the United States. And there's some arguments going both ways from America's point of view of whether or not we should allow Texas to join. The people who say yes, particularly the southern people, say that it's a lot of land for cotton. You get more power with the more land you have, and it goes along with the theme of Manifest Destiny. And it balances out the land that was gained in the Oregon territory because there's no slaves up there because the land just isn't good for growing cotton. On the other hand, the people who say no think that the annexation of Texas would lead to more slavery, possibly a war with Mexico, which we actually do get into. And finally, is it even allowed to have us become take an independent country and add it to the United States? Is it constitutional? So in the end, we decide that we will be annexing or adding Texas. It becomes our 28th state after some debate. But 1845, it's the height of Manifest Destiny, and we agree, and it becomes our 28th state. So there you go, guys. That is how Texas goes from being a colony to a nation to a state. All right, see you later.